Nice News, the show celebrating all things happy and positive. My name is Steve Surridge, aka Mr. Happiness 2000, a professional happiness coach, and
I'm Kaie, your co-host for this evening. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for being here. I keep saying this, but it's so heartfelt. You have your choices of where you can be at 7 o'clock on a Monday afternoon, evening. You choose to be with us, and we are so eternally grateful. You know, I like to start off the show with a little quote, and it's going to be about what we're talking about today. Life is better when you're laughing. And it's so true. On today's show, we're going to be discussing laughter. I'll be looking at what some call the very best medicine. Our special guest today is Lesley Raphael, who is a laughter yoga coach. And if you don't know what that is, or you've never heard of it, then stick around. She'll be telling you what it's about and how it's very good for us.
yeah, so the purpose of this show every week is to bring you 30 minutes of positive news, funny moments, all things happiness related. And as always, we're going to be interacting and having fun and giggles with you guys on the show as well. We'll be talking to a number of you in a bit. But first, I think I hear it's time for some nice news.
Yes, Nice News is all about laughter this week. And those of us of a certain vintage will remember the Reader's Digest magazine and that bit right at the front called Laughter is the Best Medicine. And it was basically a page of jokes. Some of the jokes were funny, some weren't. I think it very much depended on your sense of humor. But I think one of the things I got from this whole thing is that before we got into any of the nitty gritty of the stories covered in the Reader's Digest magazine, whether it was good, bad or indifferent, they wanted you to have a laugh, lighten the load and just generally be happy. You know, one of my favorite quotes about laughter is that a day without laughter is a day wasted. And it's so true. But laughter is a very unique thing, something that I would find funny and laugh at, somebody else may not. For example, there are people who love cat videos and find them funny. It goes straight over my head. But whether it's a cat video, it's a story, or somebody saying or doing something funny, we all need to have a good laugh. Now, one of the UK's original funny men, John Cleese, said, laughter really connects you with people because it's almost impossible to maintain any sort of difference when you are howling with laughter. And I agree with that. Audrey Hepburn felt the same. She said she loved being around people who made her laugh because as far as she was concerned, laughter cured every ill. And let's face it, who doesn't love a laugh and who doesn't like being around people who make them laugh? Because we certainly don't like being around people who are a bit grumpy. You know, there's a doctor in India, his name is ASHOK. I do hope I pronounced that correctly. And he firmly believes that laughter is the best medicine. He treats his patients mainly with herbal medicines, but in addition to that, he also prescribes them Charlie Chaplin videos because, as he says, everybody needs to laugh. It's a requirement. Isn't that right, Stephen?
I love a good laugh. So we are looking at laughter, which is a very serious subject. And our reason for doing so this week is because we know that many people have felt guilty laughing and enjoying themselves during this lockdown, fearing it seemed disrespectful. But as we're going to discover, it is so good for you. Okay, but before we meet this week's well-being guest, our laughter yoga coach, I went on the streets recently armed with my camera and questioned a few of you about laughter. Here's what you said.
On a scale of 1 to 10, laughter is a 10. It's the most important. I think it helps us get through tricky situations. It helps us enjoy life more and forget about things and live in the moment.
What's important is it's cure for unhappiness. Laughter is a key for life, I think. So important. It's one of the top things up there.
Laughter is incredibly important to me. It's almost a relief that you get when you have a stress day or watching a comedy show or connecting with friends and, you know, sharing jokes.
So laughter, I think, is one of the best medicines, as the saying goes. And for me, it's so important to be laughing regularly. And I don't need to tell you about all of the health benefits that can happen, and it can it improves your life. And the one thing I love to do is meet up with my friends, and especially my closest friend, and just laugh the whole time.
You laugh, you make other people happy if they're having a bad day, if they're upset. It kind of makes you forget about other things that are happening in the world and just around you, and you just go into another world.
I don't know. I hope not. I think actually we have the potential to laugh a lot more, because we can take life less seriously as we go along, but it's completely up to us.
Yes, I think as you get into the working world, a lot more responsibilities are on your shoulder, so you tend to be more serious because these responsibilities are quite important in your life. So
I think we laugh more as we get older, because what the hell else is there to do?
Yeah, I do think people laugh less as they get older. I don't know why. I think that as you get older, I've seen people are more serious. Maybe they've got more going on, they laugh less, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. Actually, I don't think so. I just think your humour changes. People develop. You find things different. You know, when you're a kid, you find people falling over funny. I probably find that funny now, but I think your humour probably develops a little bit differently. So no, I don't think that's all.
So we are joined this week by laughter yoga coach Lesley Raphael. Welcome, Lesley. I've got to unmute you. Let me find you on my list here of. They don't do this on BBC, do they?
No, they don't. But we're more fun than the BBC. We're more fun. We're more fun.
So, Lesley, are you unmuted? We're still.
I'm unmuted, Steve.
Hi. Oh, brilliant. That's cool.
Hello, Lesley.
So, look at your lovely smile. So, Lesley, you must be one of the funniest people to be around.
Well, I think laughter yoga has done a lot to help my happiness levels.
I've got to ask, are you ever allowed to be in a bad mood?
Yes, I do get in a bad mood, but then I don't use my laughter practice to get me back into happiness again.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So tell us then, what is laughter yoga all about, and what are the benefits?
Well, laughter yoga is a unique concept using laughter as a form of exercise for health and well-being. It's combined with deep breathing, and that is the yoga bit. So the point of laughter yoga is that when in normal life we might not always have something funny to laugh about, so we can use laughter yoga to get our lovely laughter anytime we want. And laughter is so good for us on every level. We all know the benefits of having a really good hearty laugh and how good we feel afterwards. But laughter yoga brings us benefits of all kinds to mind, body and spirit. And how we do it is by doing easy, simple actions combined with simple simulated movements, either or, combined with laughter. And the laughter starts off as false, but very quickly turns to real laughter, which is contagious. And the idea is that our bodies don't know the difference between fake and real laughter, so we still get all these lovely benefits. But when we do this fake laughing, it very, very quickly becomes real, often within seconds.
That's interesting to hear. But Lesley, just one quick question I wanted to pop in and ask you. Have you seen a lot of people coming to you during this lockdown for laughter yoga, and how has it been able to benefit them?
Yeah, I think lots of people have turned to laughter yoga, which was something that they haven't discovered before, as a means to connect with people on screen through Zoom meetings, and to have that socialising and connection through laughter. So the benefits that it can bring people in lockdown is that laughter produces endorphins, which are our natural mood boosters. And when we have a really good hearty laugh, these benefits of the endorphins can last all day. Endorphins help us feel confident and positive and cheerful. So they're really wonderful things to have in our bodies. And another benefit that these people are getting by doing laughter yoga during lockdown is that the laughter yoga stimulates regions of our brains that deal with problem solving and creativity, and it actually changes our outlook on life. So the world can seem like a more hopeful place, and our own lives can seem more optimistic and positive. So the laughter yoga really does give us lots of fortifications to cope with everything that 2020 has been bringing to us. And over time, laughter yoga builds up resilience so we can deal with the ups and downs of life and the curveballs that life throws at us.
No, that sounds like it's definitely been needed in the past few months.
Yes.
So why laughter yoga, Lesley? Why not just normal laughter? Is it like laughter with posh stretching, or what? What is...
Well, you know, normal laughter is to be encouraged and embraced when it comes, but we don't always have it. And the idea is that laughter is so great for us that rather than waiting for something funny to happen, we can do our laughter yoga practice and get all the lovely benefits anyway. And another reason for doing laughter yoga is that when we laugh normally, we only laugh for a few seconds. It's not for very long. But to get the benefits, we have to laugh long and deep and heartily for a sustained period of time. So doing laughter exercise really helps to get us all these lovely endorphins really starting to move and work within us. So that's why we would do laughter yoga, to bring a little bit of extra laughter into our lives.
No, that sounds really good. We've got two people now on the show who have benefited from your work. I'm going to go to Nina. Nina, I'm asking to unmute you. You're unmuted, I think.
Yes,
Nina, first
hi.
of all, wow, look at you in your sunny
Wow.
background. You're like a proper TV star, aren't you? Like, this is like GMTV or something, this background. So,
This is my
Nina,
everyday.
tell us, how has this laughter yoga benefited you?
Well, I think it's wonderful. It really is just uplifting. I mean, it's like you might not fancy laughing always. You might not even fancy smiling sometimes. Like you don't fancy going to the gym for a workout. But laughter yoga is it just makes you feel great. You know, you force a laugh just for a couple of ho-hos, and then suddenly it just becomes ridiculous, and you're laughing spontaneously, and it's just a good laugh. It's just good fun.
That's the best. Laughter yoga's a good laugh. That's a
good
scrap
one.
laugh. That is a scrap laugh.
That's right.
Thank you for that. And we've got Fu as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can hear you now, Fu. Can you tell us how it's benefited you?
Well, I am so lucky to have found Lesley Raphael during this lockdown. I was going mad. There were 12 screens in my house with people working on every level. I was in an office, my worst nightmare. So I get on to Lesley, and she teaches me that just with a few simple exercises like breaststroke and laughing, kind of leaning backwards, and open you up to laughing. And she's such fun on the screen, you know, or get like little fist bumps, you know, whatever on the screen, and ho, 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 ha, ha, ha. And I learned that it isn't possible to just laugh all scrunched up like this, but if you stretch with your body in all kinds of playful ways, you can laugh, 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 and feel $1 million.
That is so cool.
Wonderful.
No, that is
so
brilliant.
cool.
Thanks for that. Right, we are going to come back to Lesley. She's going to immerse all of us in some of these techniques in a moment. But first, as always, it's time for some nice news.
Well, as Lesley said earlier, laughter is catching, and it's true. How many times have you been in a situation where somebody's been laughing and you're not quite sure what they're laughing at, but then you end up laughing? And laughter is certainly something that 6-year-old Callahan McLaughlin had in mind when he set up his drive-by joke stand. Now, when the weather turned warmer, his plan had been to set up a lemonade stand, but of course, Corona put paid to all of that. So what he decided to do instead of selling lemonade, was to tell jokes for free so that he could make his neighbours laugh. So he sets up every day at the end of his driveway. He lives in British Columbia, by the way. So he sets up every morning around 10 o'clock. He's self-employed, so he can have a nice long lunch break, and then he comes back for a couple of hours in the afternoon. And he says that his aim is just to make people feel better. He got his jokes from a book that his parents bought him about 6 months ago. And Callahan says, there's a lot of stress in this world, and I just kind of want to put smiles on people's faces. Well, he's not only put smiles on the faces of friends, family, and neighbors, but he's also made a Hollywood A-lister smile. Ryan Reynolds came across his story and tweeted him a congratulatory message and said, "You rock, dude, you're a hero." So yeah, that's a 6-year-old telling us that we should be laughing.
That is amazing. What was his name again? Callahan
McLaughlin. I hope I've pronounced it correctly.
That'll make you laugh. Just
Yeah, try saying that after a couple of shandies. But it is just such a lovely concept, and it's such a lovely concept coming from a kid. Just wants to make people laugh. I think it's wonderful.
No, that's brilliant. Right, it's our turn all to laugh now. Let me just get Leslie. Let's get Lesley back. So Lesley, you're our laughter yoga expert. You're going to give us all a demonstration of how to make laughter yoga work and to bring it into our lives. So over to you. We want everyone in the audience.
Yeah, you've all got to join in with this. You've all got to do this. Yeah, all of you. All got to do this.
What we do, we get Lesley to demonstrate, and then we cut to our audience, and they can demonstrate how effective they were and how they found it. Okay, so it's over to you, Lesley.
Right, okay, so we are going to start out. We're just doing a little bit of a playful shake up to get rid of all our inhibitions, and we're going to take a deep breath in, raising our arms up in the air, and exhale, arms out to the side. Lovely. Now we're going to do our first laughter exercise, which is opening the curtains to laughter. We're going to get some imaginary curtains in front of us, and I'll demonstrate this first. We're going to open both the curtains together, and as we do, we are going to start out with a little laugh and make it into a great big hearty laugh. So I'll demonstrate. We go, It's as simple as that. So we'll do it all together now with our imaginary curtains. Ready? Wonderful. So start out with a false laugh. It quickly becomes real if we're willing to be playful. I've got another laughter exercise for you. We're now going to put on our hand sanitizers. So we're going to get our hand out, and we can do this all together. We squirt the imaginary sanitizer onto our hand, and as we rub it in, it's going to get rid of all those 2020 blues. With laughter, it's going to make us sane again. So let's just try different types of laughs as we rub it in.
Oh gosh. Lesley, I'm actually genuinely laughing. I don't believe it. I'm genuinely laughing.
Lesley, I have to ask, have you ever been arrested?
Oh gosh.
Oh, we're nice and sane now. And I've got one more exercise to show you. And this time we're now going to pretend that we're on a phone call. So we've got our mobile phone up at our ears, and we have just heard the funniest thing ever. So we're just going to laugh at our phone call. Off with just putting our hands up in the air as if to say, why are we laughing? I've got no idea why we're laughing, but it doesn't matter.
That was awesome.
That was good. That was
good. That was so good. Right, let's go to some of our audience now. Who should we? Let's go to Giselle's iPad. If you could unmute Giselle's iPad. How was that for you, Giselle?
I love it. You know, I like a good laugh. That's my number one reason for getting up in the morning, having a good old laugh.
What was your favourite one of those exercises?
Do you know what? I think I built up to a good old chortle by the time we got to the phone. So that was pretty genuine.
Can we see your phone now? Show us the phone one.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That was good, Lesley. Do you want to score these out of 10?
Oh, I think that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Yeah, I've given about an 8 or 9. Yeah.
Hey.
You're quite good, Giselle. You're quite good.
Thank you.
Kay, who do you want to go to?
I want to go to Deirdre, actually. Yeah, because you know we got Deirdre's a very good friend of mine, and we're always having a good laugh. So Dee, what did you think of those little exercises?
Which was my favorite, the sanitizer one, because
yes.
this coronavirus. I mean, like sanitizer or what? You know, the squeeze, and yeah, love it.
That was good. Lesley, you got to score these.
Yes. Lesley, what are you giving Deirdre?
Oh yes, so I think the same. I think an 8 or a 9, and also, you know, we can do this every time we wash our hands or put our sanitizer, our sanitizer. Yeah, we say
sanitizer. On the subject of laughter again, because this is what we're talking about, I don't imagine that putting your rubbish out is something that A, anybody would find funny, or B, that anybody would get dressed up to do. But unfortunately, because of health challenges and other reasons, going out to put the rubbish out is about as far outside as some people got during this pandemic. So one lady in Australia, in Queensland, Danielle Askew, decided that she and her friends were going to get together and dress up, set themselves a challenge by dressing up to put the rubbish out and take pictures of it. So we've got pictures of Danielle and her friends in superhero costumes. One of her friends had on, a typical 1980s disco vibe with the shiny leg warmers and, the shiny leggings and the leg warmers and all that kind of stuff. You've got everything from cartoon characters to fully laden out ball gowns. But what started out as a challenge then turned into over 1 million people on social media posting pictures of themselves dressed up in some kind of costume, taking the rubbish out. It's not something, Stephen, before you ask, that I'm going to be doing. Just letting you know, because I knew that was going to be your next thing. Yeah, Kaie, get dressed up and take a picture of you taking out the rubbish. Not going to happen. But I'm really glad that a lot of people had fun doing it.
I think we should all do that. I think we should get our audience. We should get our audience to at least for one day in the next 7 days to dress up and
Lord.
take the rubbish out.
Sometimes when I do these stories, I think, oh, this is really funny, and then I'm like, Stephen is going to go way over the top with this. You never disappoint me. You never disappoint me.
That's who I am. That's who I am.
That's who you are. I know it's who you are. But Stephen, coming to you, I mean, you and I have had a laugh over the years, because we've had a good working relationship. We built up a friendship, and it's always interesting to see what makes other people laugh. So for me, we were talking about this the other day. Stephen's very much into like the Naked Gun films, which personally I don't find funny, just like I don't find Monty Python or Fawlty Towers funny. And I know some people will be like, oh my gosh, what kind of person are you? But as I said earlier, humour and laughter is subjective. I love Only Fools and Horses. That scene where Del Boy is being a yuppie in the bar and falls through the bar, I will laugh at that till the day I die. Absolutely fabulous, I love. I love Will and Grace. But my sense of humour tends to be to veer towards the slightly politically incorrect. So I go for a lot of like Black American comedians like Chris Rock, Steve Harvey, Eddie Murphy, the all-time great Richard Pryor. These are guys that I can watch till the cows come home and scream with laughter. But Stephen, as I said, I know you like Naked Gun.
Naked Gun, Frank Drebin. There's 3 films, and it's just so stupid. It's so slapstick. It's so out there. The best one is the one with the Queen, when Queen Elizabeth II visits and goes to a baseball match, and she gets involved in it, and it all goes wrong, and he has to sing opera. And it's got Priscilla Presley as the straight guy kind of thing.
Oh, right.
So funny. I love Ab Fab as well. The chaos, the kind of rudeness. I love South Park. It's just out there. It's totally, they can say anything as a cartoon. They can get away with it. And Victoria Wood and Ricky Gervais. So I loved Victoria Wood. She wasn't offensive, but she was so funny. Right, we need to go to our audience now. Who should we go to? We're going to Isabella.
Isabel. Yes.
Isabella, we've told you what makes us laugh. Are you there, Isabella? What makes you laugh? But wow, you're always so glamorous. What makes you laugh, Isabella?
Well, I think the standard stand-up comedy, my favourite comedian, he's a Glaswegian, Kevin Bridges. And I think when it comes to stand-up comedy and things like that, it's all about what applies to you the most. And I think he just really hits the spot. He understands, certain aspects of my life, and it really makes me laugh out loud. But I think honestly,
what aspects of your life then? What is he tapping into? You can't leave us.
Probably the staying up all night partying aspects.
But how do you stay up all night partying during a lockdown, Isabella? I'm trying to work out how you get that. And why was I not invited? That's the next question.
Stephen and I are lucky enough to live in a co-living building where we can be quite social. And I think as well what makes me laugh is just chatting to my friends about boys.
Right, okay. Yeah, that's
right, okay. Who's next? Who do you want to go to next?
What about Jana?
Jana, let's find Jana.
Yeah.
What makes you laugh, Jana?
Hi, what makes me laugh? I think classical Mr. Bean.
Okay.
Mr. Bean.
I love Mr. Bean. Yeah.
You see, that's another one I didn't find too funny, but as I said, it's all subjective, So yeah. But hey, he makes you laugh. That's the important thing. That's the important thing.
The awkwardness of him. He's like so awkward, and it's just like, oh my god.
Are you able to identify with that a bit?
Not really.
No, thanks for that. Thanks for sharing. Right, who should we go to now? Let's ask Rachel. Rachel is always up for a giggle. What makes you?
Hi, Kaie. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good to see your smiling face again.
Oh, thank you so much. Well,
that's weird.
Yeah, and I sorry, I forgot the name of the coach, but you're amazing, amazing. Yeah. I think the sanitizer thing was really good, and the telephone thing.
Yeah.
This, life is supposed to be, 100% happiness. When I wake up in the morning, all I say is thank you, God, and I'm happy that I thank God for the things that I have, the best mom in the world. A friend like Steve, the best friend, and if there's a word like bestest, he's the bestest ever.
I'm touched. We'll edit this bit out. Don't worry. We'll edit.
Yeah, I want to know how much you paid us, Stephen. That's all I'm saying. But and that laugh. You see that laugh? I just love that cackle. I'm sorry. Right,
let's go to Marlon. Marlon is there. Marlon is sporting a new look this week.
Marlon, you had your haircut. Your haircut.
Thank you to the Almighty. Yes, I did.
Where are you in the hospital bed, Marlon? Where are you?
Yes, I am in my bed.
Are you in the hospital bed?
No, just my room.
Or something.
What makes me laugh? My favorite TV comedy is an American sitcom called Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's my absolute favorite.
Yes, that is funny. I forgot to mention that.
Hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know it, it's a police comedy drama, and usually police shows are all dramatic, like you have Law and Order or things like that. But it's a comedy, so it makes it's very interesting. I also like comedians like Dave Chappelle, Wanda Sykes, Chris Rock.
Yeah,
those are
those
lovely.
My peeps.
Exactly. And of course, the people I'm surrounded in this building, they make me laugh on a regular, so that's good.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you, Marlon. Right, okay, so we're about to wrap up, but first of all, we've got some time for some more nice news.
Yeah, one more quick one about laughter. It's not only the best medicine, it can be the best love medicine, because it's a great way to boost your relationship if you're in one, or to help you get in one if you're not. Apparently, women laugh 125% more than men do. So Stephen said to me, well, what are they laughing at? And I said, well, I hope it's not the men that they're in relationships with. But anyway, women laugh more than men, but men love to be in the presence of a laughing woman, according to the science. Because, you know, every once in a while we throw in some science to make it sound a bit, you know, almost BBC-ish. But yeah, you know, having a good laugh with somebody that you're in a relationship with, apparently the one thing that keeps people together in a relationship more than anything else is a shared sense of humor. So go out there, make the world laugh, and find your Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. right.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm going to do that right now. No, I'm joking.
BBC-ish. BBC-ish.
BBC-ish. Ish. Wait, listen, we're too cool for the BBC.
Well,
that's
absolutely.
You know, so that's why
the
I
one
said
show's on at the moment. They spray them with starch before they go live.
No, we don't do that. We don't.
No, that is brilliant. So that is it for tonight's show. Leslie, we come back to you before we sign off. So Leslie, if people want to find out more about laughter yoga, where can they go?
They can come to me on my Facebook page, Unleash Your Laugh, or I've also got 2 meetup pages for Worthing and Chichester Laughter Clubs, and I've got all my details on there where they can join in once a week for free on a 1-hour Zoom session of laughter yoga. And as well as me, you know, there's other laughter leaders throughout the country running Zoom sessions. If people go to Laughter Association UK, that is a website where they can look up and see what other Zoom sessions are being held. And, you know, you can also laugh on your own at home. If you look up on YouTube, there are lots of laughter leaders throughout the world that have put YouTube content up for laughter sessions where you can join in for a few minutes or for a whole hour. So there's lots of ways that you can bring laughter into your life, and you can also laugh at home on your own. You can look in the mirror and just laugh and give yourself a thumbs up. Don't take yourself too seriously, and you can make a laughter exercise out of anything at all by just combining a simple action with some laughter, and the laughter will start off fake but quickly become real and raise your spirits. So there you are. There's all those ways to bring laughter into your life.
Oh, brilliant, Lizzie. That's been brilliant.
Great.
Such a laugh. Okay, so yeah, so that is it for this week. Next week, it's all about the small things, about gratitude and appreciation and how that can change your life. We want you to get involved. So our usual links are below. Our email is here. Our meetup group is here. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to see all our past shows. They're all on demand. This show will be on demand as well. Share it. You're all part of this, so do share it as well with your network. And Kaie, do you want to say anything?
Just want to end with a little advice. Just remember that a good laugh at any time of the day will recharge your batteries.
That's good. So we're back next Monday at 7 p.m. again. Available on demand after that, as I said. Until then, thank you. Thank you. Have a great week, and we'll see you here same time, same place next week. That's brilliant. Thanks so much.
Thank you.